Good afternoon. My name is Aimee Winder Newton, and I'm pleased to be here today to talk to you a little bit about how we can promote high community standards. I serve on the Salt Lake County Council, and I'm also a member of the UCAP Advisory Council. And this is such an important issue, and we're so glad that we could be here to help talk about some of the things that we can do to improve our communities. When I was elected to the County Council 2.5 years ago and asked some of my constituents things that they were concerned about, it was interesting to hear some of the responses. You know, in this day and age when we have concerns about our children and, you know, even on the county level, the criminal justice system and how pornography plays into all of this, it was an issue that a lot of families were concerned about. And so I made the decision that because Salt Lake County does things like the health department, behavioral services, youth services, and we have the jail and a criminal justice component, I wanted to get more involved in this issue and look for ways that we can improve our community. I believe that as we educate the community, it's a lot better than using tax dollars to fix a problem later on. And so this is something that I've been excited to work on and get involved in. Today I'm excited to have Shelley Devries here as well, who will be speaking, and then Adrianne Thygerson. We will be talking about some of the issues that she has and experiences that she's had as well. So first of all, it's really important that we start talking about this issue. And the first thing that I think is important to do is identify your own family standard. It's like on an airplane when you have oxygen masks, and they always tell you that you should put your own mask on first before you help others with their masks. And so getting your own family standard developed, figuring out how to get filters in place to protect children and grandchildren, and educating yourself on this subject is key. Also, finding media standards for your family, being able to stick to that and figure out what works will help you as you engage in improving our community. The second thing is to find your voice. Figure out what that sounds like and what kind of issues you're interested in and what you want to go after. And the third thing is to talk about the harmful effects of pornography with family and friends. You know, this can be a really uncomfortable subject, but the more familiar we are with it in talking with people and the more we can freely express our viewpoints on it, the more comfortable it becomes. And so being able to get involved by talking with friends and family about this subject will be very helpful as you begin getting more involved. Be bold. Sometimes it can be scary to go out there and take on a topic such as this, but be bold. Don't be afraid. One of the things that I have loved is this survey that shows how Utahns feel about pornography as a public health crisis in Utah. It shows that 51% definitely believe that it's a public health crisis. 22% say it probably is. And so we've got 73% of the population in Utah who agrees with this, who believes that pornography is a public health crisis. So I think this is such an important slide because it helps us to feel empowered as we move along. I want to talk a little bit about some ways that we can be involved. And here are 4 ways: to contact elected leaders, to share info on social media, to encourage schools to host Fight the New Drug assemblies, and to promote or head up a White Ribbon Week. Those are the topics that I'm going to cover, and then my colleagues will be covering some others. First of all, contacting elected leaders. It's so important to be respectful and develop rapport as you talk to your elected officials. You know, it's easy to start throwing barbs or getting frustrated or whatever, but if you go in with a respectful tone and discuss these issues very matter-of-factly, that will help your case. That will help them it will help you get credibility with them as you discuss this important issue. Also, constituents carry more weight. You know, as an elected official, when I have somebody that I represent, that I was elected to represent, come and talk to me about an issue, for some reason, that helps me to listen a little bit better, and it's just natural because I was elected to represent them. So when you're talking to an elected official, if you are indeed one of their constituents, make sure that they know that. And if you're not, bring somebody with you who is, or have somebody who is a constituent help follow up on the issue that you've been talking with them about. The more facts, the better. You know, this is an emotional issue, and a lot of people have personal experiences, and I think those are really important. But at the end of the day, when we use facts and data to back up what we're trying to tell them and what we're trying to help them understand, it carries a little bit more weight. And so make sure you incorporate a healthy balance there of facts and data. And then have materials to follow up with. You know, I always like it when I have somebody come and talk to me about an issue, if they send a follow-up email with the information and kind of the little facts spelled out for me, it helps me a lot as I look at ways that I can help promote the issue that they're concerned about. Another thing that we can do is to share on social media information about the dangers of pornography. A good example is a friend of mine, John Gunter. He's very active on social media. Here's an example of his Facebook page and his Twitter accounts, and they kind of show some of the things that he's talking about. He's sharing articles or little tidbits of information to help educate the public, and I think that's important. Social media is the new word of mouth, and so as we are open about this and can share things that can help others, then it helps spread the message throughout social media land. So John's been a great example of doing that. I also think it's important to note that, you know, we have a lot of women involved in this issue and a lot of great men as well, but there's something about a man's voice on this issue that we need more of. We need more men willing to stand up for this, and more women as well, but there's something about a man's voice on this issue that's very powerful. One of the things that I decided to get involved in when I was first elected is to get the Fight the New Drug assemblies into all of the junior high and high schools in Salt Lake County. And so we've been working on this. We've got probably about half of them already. But this program, this nonprofit, Fight the New Drug, does such a great job educating kids about the dangers of pornography using science, facts, and personal accounts. And they talk about how it impacts your brain and your relationships and society as a whole. And so getting these assemblies into the schools has been a really positive experience, and we've had great feedback from administrators and principals and even the kids who love the way that this group portrays this issue. They talk about that it's cool to say no to porn, and that it's an important issue, and you can be rebellious by staying away from it. They do a really good job with the kids. So just a few ideas that I have on how to get these in your school. The first one is to get your school district on board. Go figure out who the decision makers are on these issues, and go talk to them and get them on board with what you're trying to do and help educate them on this, with what this Fight the New Drug Assembly does. Educate the school administration. A lot of school districts will push local decision making down to the school administration, so the principal is key to have involved in your effort and make sure that he or she understands. We've got principals across the valley who can attest to what a great program this is, and so if you need help, let us know. We can put you in touch with principals who can speak positively about this program and talk about the benefits that they've seen. Another way to get these assemblies into the school is involve parents that go to the school through either PTA or community councils. Get them engaged, because the administration's going to listen to these parent leaders in the school, and if they're asking for this assembly as well, it's more likely to go through. One of my favorite things about these assemblies is seeing the kids interact and how, you know, they come into the assembly initially a little bit afraid and a little bit nervous, and then as the fun assembly goes along, they get excited about this issue, and it's fun to see them at the end run up to sign the pledge and to, you know, try to win free t-shirts and such that help with this effort. So it's been a really good experience for our schools. They also do a parent meeting, Fight the New Drug does, where parents can come and learn about the issue, and I highly have recommended to the schools that have done it to have that parent meeting first, so that as they have the assemblies for the kids, the parents kind of already know what's going to be talked about, and it helps engage in dialogue with parents and their children after the assembly. Another thing that I think is great to help with our community is White Ribbon Weeks in the elementary schools. I'm currently the White Ribbon Week chair at my local elementary school, and I have been for the last few years. And I've taken a program from Women for Decency on whiteribbonweek.org, and I've adapted it and simplified it, because I'm a very simple person, and sometimes schools don't have a lot of funds or a lot of time or help to incorporate a big to-do. And so I've simplified it, and I'm happy to send that to anyone who wants a copy of what I've done. It includes 2 parent letters, one at the beginning of the week that kind of explains the week, and then one after. And then there's 4 reality boosts that the kids learn each day. The first one is, I will swap media time for a real life experience each day. We're able to help the kids understand how important it is to have interactions with family and friends and put away devices. The second one is, I will tell a trusted adult right away if something doesn't seem right. And I love this one because we teach the kids about the 10-minute rule that basically says if you run across something inappropriate online, try to tell a trusted adult within 10 minutes so that you don't have to have that rattling around in your brain anymore and you can just put it aside and not worry about it anymore. The third one is I will be kind online, and that's where we talk a little bit about internet bullying and how it's important to be kind and be who you say you are online. And then the fourth one is not everything online is real, where we're able to talk to them a little bit about, advertising and how some of the things that they're bombarded with, some of the messaging isn't necessarily true or real. Feel free to email me. It's aimewndewton@gmail.com, AIMEEWNEWTON@gmail.com, and I'm happy to send you this already done, and it tells you exactly what you need to do each day, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to turn the time now over to Shelley Devries, who's going to talk more about the things that we can do in our communities to keep our standards high.